The time has come and I can procrastinate no further. The motherboard must come out to be cleaned and see if there's any way of repairing it. This is the final step. It is the final step because I received my replacement, quote unquote. I'm not going to replace that motherboard if at all possible. This is mostly just like a keep my sanity, make sure I'm not losing my mind kind of test replacement thing. I'm going to make sure power supply works. I'm going to make sure my peripherals work. I'm going to make sure this board works because I haven't actually turned it on yet. It does also have an evil barrel battery which must be excised, and I love the fact that it's called Mr. BIOS. That's adorable. I know it's actually, Microla Research or whoever. I guess I didn't know that's who it was. But it's Mr. BIOS. Anyway, same exact 4060X33. I think this only has 4 megs of RAM. That'll be updated to 8 or 16, excuse me. Other than that, it's a very, very, very similar motherboard, and it should be basically a drop-in replacement. But again, not a replacement, a test bed. This is still the point. But this is at least something useful to make sure I'm not losing my mind. Also, if you look very closely and my hand stops shaking, you can see that there is a bit of corrosion on this board too, but nowhere near the damage that's on the other board. So I mean, like, this will also need to be cleaned a little bit, but at least that's a minor thing that should just be able to come right off with some 90% isopropyl alcohol. I apologize for my shakiness and all that. I'm just generally kind of nervous. I haven't really done any work on an AP class machine in over 2 decades. I barely know what's going on inside of this, so help. I'll be making maps of where all those header pins go on the motherboard and all that, so I can at least try and have a semblance of plugging them back in correctly once I put this all back together after I clean this board. Yes, also something very important for AT power supply specifically, the black cables on the 2 6-pin power plugs must be next to each other. That's like the easiest way to know that you've got them plugged in the right way. All the black cables should be on the inside of the 2 plug adapters. So for today's episode of Never Ever Do the Things I'm Doing, holy cow. You remember that last time I said that was the jankiest thing I'd ever done? I always find a way to one-up myself. I've got the bare minimums plugged in here, VGA, controller card, and the post card just for funsies. I just want to make sure that this new, quote-unquote new board works. Oh boy. Oh my god! Goodbye, Trident video card. I don't know if you were actually on your way out or not, but you're dead now. Given the events of the last few minutes, I don't think anyone would consider me out of my mind when I say I don't know that I trust myself to do this. But here's the old motherboard. The new motherboard seems okay. It does seem that all the damage was limited to the video card. I still don't know what's going on. I'm gonna have to learn how to use a multimeter and figure out what the deal is with that stupid ISA slot or something, because that was horror and I don't know how that happened or what's going on, but I didn't care for it. Anyway, here's the old motherboard, including the void if removed sticker on the CPU, which looks like I'm void. What occurred yesterday was absolutely unforgivable and quite literally the dumbest thing I've ever done in my life. I should have never tried to test it without, properly installing it. I think this board seems fine from my annoying inspections of it. The only damage I was able to find anywhere was on that poor VGA card. That electrolytic capacitor just blew out. I don't know if it's something I did wrong or something wrong with the board itself or something wrong with the VGA card. I have no idea, but this is so much of a safer way to test. So this is base, power on, not catching fire, and probably yelling about no video card. Because there there's nothing in it but the motherboard. Jeez, I'm terrified to do this. Encouraging. We have... Can you go down and all that? Alright. Nothing is on fire yet. I'm a big fan of that. What happens if I reboot? Nothing. So I might have the reset switch plugged in wrong or something, I don't know. Now with a postcard. We're definitely getting all 4 of the power lights up now, which, that's good. I think the other motherboard did have a problem with power delivery. Will this accept the reset button, or will it do anything? Let's find out. Oh no, it did pick up the reset. Wow, okay, cool. So the reset switch works. That's good. I like that. Neat. Alright, so let's slap a graphics card in here and see what it does after that. I guess it is a good thing that I ordered that replacement VGA card. So let's see what it does. Well, it didn't catch fire, and it did output a monitor signal. Let's see if it's bright enough to see. Oh, it's definitely much brighter. Oh, this is much brighter. Oh, yes, this is better. Wow, okay, so it does look like the computer works. So that's good. Slowly building up the parts inside it. Let's put in a controller card and see if it notices that there are serial and parallel ports again. Still nothing catching on fire, which I'm a big fan of. I mean, like, I'm a huge fan of things not catching on fire. Man, do I like that. That's so much better when things don't catch on fire. What was that beep about? Oh. Fix this configuration change. I bet it found my controller card. Let's see here. Oh, still no common LPTs though. So that's not great. Let's see here. It's got some drives already set up in it, so... Huh. I'm not sure why it's not picking up my common LPTs though. I don't have fixed disk 80 to spin up. They're not there. Well, the only thing I can think of is that I did indeed damage the controller card with, you know, the horrible nightmare disaster. This new motherboard definitely seems to work, but it will not pick up any COM ports. It will not pick up the printer port. It will not pick up any floppy or hard drive. I mean, I don't know what else to do. I have no idea how to test an IDE controller card. Everything I know says they're basically just supposed to like pretty much work after you plug them in, as long as all the IRQs are set right. And this is the only thing that actually has any IRQs set on the entire computer, so I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if I need a new controller card again, or if I'm really just this cursed. But at least the monitor is very bright now.